Hello, Basil. How's it going, man?
Very well. How are you, Alex?
I'm very good, very good. What do we have this week?
We've got a good one, a very, very good one. I think the best film we're going to review all season for me and you anyway. And that is Nomadland, which is a film by Chloe Zhao. I think we agree on that name, Chloe Zhao, yeah. And it's got Frances McDormand in, who won Best Actress at the Oscars, and this film has also won Best Picture. So we always knew we were going to be in for a bit of a treat, but I think even me and you were blown away. And we watched it at the cinema as well. We watched it at the cinema, which opened up, it opened, fantastic.
Yeah,
let's go as much as we can, let's support it.
We're so excited for sitting in the dark and staring
at
the screen for 2 hours, but it was brilliant.
It was, I was going to say, we had a 2-hour runtime, and it was a fantastic experience to watch it at the cinema. I think Frances McDormand was quoted saying that it should be viewed at the cinema if you can, and going into the film, you can see why. I mean, just for the mere fact alone of where the film takes place in these beautiful landscapes across America, as a nomad, the main character is absolutely fantastic. But to quickly give a rundown of the storyline, the main character, Frances McDormand, who is played by, it's called Faye. She is
Fern.
Fern,
yes.
Fern,
Fern.
Just
like the plant,
yeah, that's right, yeah. So she is kind of a little bit lost. She must be in her 60s. She's lost her husband. She comes from a town called Empire, which is a deflated town economically, because a gypsum plant shut down. It's not needed anymore. And this destroys the town, and now she's on the road. She's doing seasonal work, some of it at Amazon, some of it at like campsites, and she turns to the nomad lifestyle, and that's kind of where the film kind of kicks off, really. So what did you think of it, Alex?
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant, mind blown altogether, well worth it this year for the big prize. But also, you know, I've never known. I mean, it's so much. It works on so many levels because I think it's a film about life and what every single one of us on this planet define and search when we think of happiness. You know, how do you define your happiness in life?
How do you measure success? Yeah, exactly.
The ultimate purpose of somebody's life is to be happy. As simple as that sounds, that's what it is. And we get introduced to this world of nomads, people living in caravans, like on the fringes of towns near the deserts and things like that, through this character. So we get introduced through Fern's character into this world, and for a good chunk of the film in the beginning, she just acts as a vessel for us to come into that world and get to know the characters and how they live. And it turns out that these people are so much more happier with the simplest things, the basic things, without technology, without all the, the comforts and that we take for granted. And yet they value life much more than, with a much clearer head. They value their happiness with the little things they have compared to, the stress of life that we have. Did you thought that's the first thing that's straight away?
And it does ask a lot of big questions in the film, like you say, like kind of measured what success is and what happiness is, really. And that might differ from a lot of people, but as you say, these nomads live a very simple life, and it seems to be doing them justice, and you hear of the backstories of a few of their lives before they turn to this lifestyle, and it doesn't sound pleasurable, and one of the other elements of the film is it's like how it is to grow old a little bit, and the acceptance of death. Like, those are the two things, growing old and the acceptance of death, seems to be big parts of the film. And I think it does allure to the fact a little bit of, like, today's lifestyle isn't the best. So the capitalist kind of always on your phone, always working 5 days a week, 50 hours a week. Like, it does allure to that a little bit. If you want to take that from the film, it kind of has those hints to it. But as I said to you as we were leaving the cinema, I was thinking about my own life watching this. It makes you think about your own life. Even though this is totally unrelatable to me, it's a woman who's in her 60s who lives in America who does seasonal work. That's got nothing to do with my life. The questions it asks in the film, you start thinking about your own existence, really, don't you?
And that's a good thing. Yeah, that had the same effect on me. It makes you reevaluate what you always have been convinced of. So, you can think of, I don't know, happiness, I should, live in a big, massive house or whatever you can think of. your definition of happiness, it just makes you reevaluate that. Because to me, it seemed like in the race or the journey towards happiness in life, these nomads are way ahead of us that we live in you know, civilization, and that they seemed, you know, much more happier with having a basic job, having the basic mod cons, and being part of this community where everybody's sharing the same, you know, the same attitude towards life. And you're like, it's such a simple way of taking it, even though it's not, you know, it's not necessarily the most comfortable or the most, you know, luxurious. But they take a step back and they look at simplicity, and that's what just struck me, how simple it can be. Don't you think? Is that right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, 100% with that. And you know, it's just. I think we both said it, but it's a really beautiful film, man. And I'll be honest with you, I cried 5 times while watching this, and I know you didn't. I know you didn't, but I am surprised, because I thought we both were. And then at the end of the film, I remember walking out of the cinema, and we just both of us didn't really say anything for 5 minutes, because it was an astonishing experience to watch it, man. It really was fantastic. But yeah, no, as you say about the nomad lifestyle being simplistic, and these people seem better off. It's like it's kind of a return to nature, isn't it? I think we both hinted upon that, and there is a lot of it seems like there's a lot of instances, hints towards nature being one of the fundamental things that we need to stick to in terms of the landscape. And there's a lot of talk about animals as well. I mean, one of the characters in the film, I think her name was it Sweeney, the older lady? Was it Sweeney or something? She talks about very early on in the film about some of the better moments of her life, and it's all instances of seeing nature displayed by animals, you know. So it might be like swallows flying around, or it might be like a baby moose and its mother moose walking through the Canadian outback, and it's like, it has hints towards that, doesn't it?
Sorry, absolutely, yeah. And also you remember Alex, the simple scene where she's like really happy because she's found those birds. What do you call them? Those birds?
Swallows.
That's it. Swallows. Yeah. So she's in a lake, and there's these rocks around her, and she sees these swallows flying around her, and this lady says that in that moment she is the happiest that she can be. And that's, again, coming back to that simplicity of what is happiness to everybody, is as simple as that. And that's what everybody should be following, instead of, you know, trying to follow a career or any other artificial thing that people think that's what happiness should be. And I just love that. That's why we were quiet after the film, because it was like jaw-breaking. I mean, it was like, where do you start?
It almost makes you question if you are
drama. It's not a comedy. It's not a drama. We're thinking, you know, what we just experienced, basically.
Yeah, it's almost like, because it makes you question what you're doing in your own life, because obviously me and you both work full-time, and this film is kind of almost suggesting that, you know, working 5 days a week, not exploring the world is maybe not the best thing to do, you know. And that's quite funny, because it has that impact on you, and you enjoy that message. And then, like, when you finish watching the film, you think, okay, well, what I loved that was amazing, maybe I should take something from it, you know. It almost has that impact on you, doesn't it, man? And it's definitely a game changer in terms of people actually, just because I don't think anyone would watch this film and not want to talk about it. And I think that's great. It's really thought-provoking, and it's really it's a big conversation starter. You can imagine a lot of people going to this movie and then going for a pint afterwards and just chatting about it for an hour or two, man.
It looks great. It looks great.
It does look fantastic.
It's shot very well, because you get the really close-ups of the characters, almost really close to their faces and to their performances, and then it cuts away to these beautiful landscapes of the desert or wherever they placed. So absolutely worth seeing it in cinemas. So it's called Nomadland, is the Best Picture winner. Highly recommended to go to cinemas. I think it's going to run for another week from today. But yeah, definitely recommended. Yeah,
fantastic.
Hopefully more like this year.
Yeah, we hope so, man. It'd be amazing.
All right, Baz, talk to you later.
Take care, Alex. Bye.
Bye.